Oh no, there's a tower still there. Huh?
Season 7 of Smite is here, and with that, here's some brief closing thoughts on Season 6. So, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I actually quite like Season 6. I also quite like the direction they took the game, and I feel like they were pushing it towards a much better position in terms of how the game feels. I also quite like some of the quality of life changes they did, as well as the bug fixing in general. It was nice. They communicated that better. My perception of the game honestly did change significantly, which was good. I've also slowly started to understand that balance is not just about numbers, and slowly I've started to understand that it is more about perception and how people feel and how you communicate that to people, as well as understanding why people feel something is strong and understanding the perception behind that, which is honestly more difficult than just looking at the numbers and saying that's winning a lot and that does too much damage. But there you go. So, with that, we're now going to talk about Season 7 using some Season 6 gameplay. Yeah, I know. So, Season 7 has been so far out for a while. I think it's 2 weeks going on to 3 weeks now. I might be wrong there. I can't remember the dates. I'm sorry. Season 7 for me feels very much farm focused. Season 6 was starting to feel farm focused, but now Season 7... ganking is more honestly about map control over kills. Kills really aren't worth it. The farm is just worth more. Pressure is here to stay though, and I can't see that disappearing anytime soon. Ganks are pretty much just about applying pressure and dictating the pace of the game and control of the map. What I mean by this is counter engaging is super strong right now. You basically want to turn up to a lane, do nothing, go and get more farm. If the jungler then turns up to the lane that you are ganking, you then fully commit on the jungler after you've used everything and then you kill them. That's pretty much how jungle is being played right now. For a lot of people that's really weird, but for me I actually quite like it. Jungle is basically all about decision making right now, and I like that. With that said though, it's really difficult to fall behind on the map, because there's so much farm available. You have to lose complete control of the map and then it's game over, and even that is really difficult to do because there's so much to control. Now, big early gold deficits are still a problem, but honestly they've been few and far between, and unless you are 10k gold behind in 10 minutes you are probably going to be fine. I've only had a handful of games like this, and honestly that's a big improvement over previous seasons. For the average player, this means that two roles are still super powerful, and that is the mid lane and the jungle. Although I will say that I feel like support right now is probably the best it's felt ever, which is great because I feel like support, mid lane and jungle are super impactful, especially at a casual level. So I'm going to assume at a pro level they're going to be super important, with the side lanes then having to adapt to cope to how that's being played. Supports also, because there's so much farm, have loads of gold, which is great for them. XP they're still behind, but they have a lot more gold compared to previous seasons, which is great. In many ways it feels like season 6.5. The biggest changes have honestly been small impactful item changes. In terms of roles, Flexible Gods is the name of the game still. Carry has basically moved towards a super high burst crit build. The other build is still viable, but players have avoided picking it up so far. I feel like this is because they just want the big numbers, but I expect the pro players are going to be picking up the power penetration build still over crit. I might be wrong on that one. Mages in mid have had their power curve shifted significantly. Percentage pen has been taken down a notch. Instead of being on one item, it's now spread across loads of items, and I mean, it's on everything. Mages right now have items which give you pretty much everything. You can put items together in a random order, and I guarantee you probably have a good build somehow. Yeah, although the build that's currently ruling in mid and mages in general is the spellcaster build. Basically it's full cooldown. There's nothing really else to say there. The jungle role is still burst heavy. There's loads of gods which can enter the jungle with hybrid items now, and well, that's been the case for some time, if I'm being honest with you. Solo warriors have also moved towards hybrid power items. That's been the case for some time now. That was sort of happening in Season 6. Now warriors have a lot of good items they can build. Now there are a couple non-warrior gods which can follow building hybrid items, but solo lane is basically hybrid or you go home. You have to be dealing damage, so when you rotate you can do quite a significant amount. And given how mages are building like percentage pen quite late now, or later than they were, that means that the warrior rotating onto mid lane is really strong right now, and it is really strong. Now guardians have also moved more towards all items, especially for support. Even the more aggressive guardians are still probably going to be doing that, although their options have become significantly more limited and their damage output has become significantly more limited because of the removal of penetration on penetration boots. That's now gone, or penetration shoes. Most gods can be played in different roles, as I was saying earlier. Some are weaker compared to others, but honestly they can do it. Now, 5 out of the 4 blessings are still useful. Assassin's Blessings have got crowd control reduction for some odd reason to buff it, and I'm still confused why. Odin and Bastet got reworked. Odin feeling very good, and Bastet doesn't feel very good at all. Odin now has more options, which is great, along with some counterplay, which is something he desperately needed. Bastet, on the other hand, has become sort of a stim ult bot with less damage, and she just feels like a hit and run assassin that doesn't really have much utility in her kit. And she's very single target focused. Honestly, I don't like that at all. I honestly prefer the old Bastet, which is weird. Yeah, not much to really say there. Very little changes in terms of items outside of everything being given to, well, pretty much every single mage item. So far the spellcaster meta has taken hold in mid lane, as I was saying earlier, and pretty much half the other items are viewed as worthless. Spear of the Magus was made, not viable outside of 2 gods, and even that is still questionable up for the debate, and the community hasn't decided if that item is complete rubbish now. Ranked is pretty much the same as always. Take from that what you want. Let me know what you think about the scripted video and the gameplay in the background, and don't forget to comment and like. I will see you on Twitch soon at Nerdlegend. Yes, I do stream sometimes, and that is the end of the video. So, hopefully I've covered everything, and hopefully I've made it entertaining. Let me know. That's it for now, and I will see you soon. Anybody John Queer hits will also die too.